Hello my loves, welcome to my bullet journaling channel and welcome to my June 2026 bujo setup. If you are a beginner to bullet journaling, or if you have been wanting to add more art into your personal bujo setups, but you've been looking at inspiration online or other creators, me or someone else, and thought to yourself, this looks really cool, but it also looks really hard, and I'm just not at that level of artistic talent, artistic ability, let me stop you right there, okay? Because for my June setup this month, I am doing an art piece that I think is so accomplishable and very, very beginner friendly. And I want to kind of walk you guys through my thought process as I made this piece, because if you saw the thumbnail of this video, I think the piece looks really cool, really colorful, really summery, but it is very, very beginner friendly. And I want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to do something similar to this if you're interested in it. So without any further ado, I'm going to jump right into a little audio tutorial of what I'm doing here on screen. As my subscribers are well aware, I love to use alcohol marker art to put in my bullet journal simply because I love how alcohol marker works. So often, because alcohol marker bleeds through paper, I do artwork on a separate sheet of paper, in this case my sketchbook paper, and then I will then paste or glue it into my journal. So although I am doing a journal spread, I'm starting with artwork in a separate sketchbook, and my theme for this month is 80s style sunsets, because I want to do something really summery and colorful for the month of June, which is also coincidentally my birthday month, and I was feeling very, very bright colors. So if you want to recreate this art piece or what you saw on the cover page or the thumbnail of this video, what you need is a bunch of very bright colors in pinks, oranges, teals, and a little bit of light yellow. Now, like I said, I'm using alcohol markers simply because I love the way that they blend, but you could definitely create the same exact look with any other supply, whether it's water-based markers, whether it's colored pencils, whether it's acrylic markers. Honestly, this gradient can be achieved in many different ways, so whatever is your medium of choice, just pick the colors that work for you in that particular art supply. Then I started by making a gradient from orange at the bottom to pink at the top and leaving this bright, literally neon yellow sun in the middle. Honestly, this neon yellow, like highlighter color of alcohol marker is one that I never thought that I would use, but in this particular art piece, I think that the neon yellow pops so well. If you honestly just want to pull out like a Sharpie highlighter for this part, you could do the exact same thing. It looks really bright and stark, but when you combine it with the other super bright orange and pinks and almost purpley colors, it looks really, really intentional as like a pop art style of sunset. So doing a gradient from lightest to darkest is very important. And then I also used the slightly darker shade to add clouds. So on the orange section, I used the light pink to add clouds. And on the light pink, I used the dark pink marker to add the clouds. And by clouds, I'm really just drawing like horizontal lines with circly blobs on top. It's so simple, so accomplishable. Now, this part of the art piece at the bottom where I start getting into the water is kind of unrealistic, because if the sunset was so bright, the water itself would look like the exact same color because it's reflecting the sky, right? So I took a little bit of creative liberties here and added a little bit of blue on the water that is further away from like the camera, that is further into the horizon. And then I used the pink at the bottom to kind of emulate the reflecting sun from the sky. It is not perfectly like realistic or accurate to how real sunset pictures look potentially, but I wanted to still emphasize that there is water here, as well as bring the pink to the bottom of the art piece. So this is where, again, creative liberties were definitely taken, but this is the same exact concept. I'm using teal, then blue, then pink, then dark pink to create a little bit of a gradient. The jump from blue to pink is quite harsh in my case because I didn't really have any purple to make a smoother ombre here, but you can definitely edit that if you want to, or make the blue completely disappear and just have the sky reflect completely into the water, make it more, realistic, whatever floats your boat. And that is honestly the background of this piece. One of the easier things that I've done in a while, which is why I really want to emphasize that this would be really good if you want to create a piece that I've done in my own bullet journal. Now, you can 100% do this piece without my final last touches, but I like the little bits at the end. So I took a darker purple to add these like palm branches that are kind of sticking into the frame here, as if there are some plants that are just outside of the scope of this camera taking a photo, and they're just peeking into frame from different angles. And then because this is going to be my cover page for my June setup, I did leave my title June on this art piece. Now you can 100% make the sunset without adding June, but what I did here was I had drawn out the letters June and kept outlines of them. So it's really just me coloring around those outlines and leaving the white negative space that allowed me to create these letters. And then to make them pop even more, I took a bright pink acrylic marker and outlined this white, almost stroke of the letters for June. So it almost looks like the letters are a neon sign that is glowing pink. And it can also just look like the letters are negative space that is subtracted away or erased out of the background, which is the big sunset image. I felt like the vibes of a neon sign, glowing letters fit the whole like sunset Miami 80s pop graphic art vibe. And I've played around with neon before in my October 2024 bullet journal setup, and that was really fun to mess around with. So this is kind of similar but in a very different style. However, I find that glowing effects are really hard to accomplish, so I just made my life much easier by using like a very bright pink acrylic marker. But again, you can do this with any medium that you want, whatever floats your boat, whatever is already in your art cart. And with that being said, like this is one of my faster cover pages. I've only been speaking for like what, 6, maybe 7 minutes, and our cover page is already done, which I am so excited about. I think the colors are so bright and happy, and I'm super hyped to put this in my journal. Before we jump into my actual spreads, I'm going to be doing one more gradient in this little strip on the right here. You will see what I'm going to use this for in just a minute or two when I actually get back to my bullet journal, but I'm doing the exact same gradient that I did on the original cover page here, but just in a very tall vertical strip that I'll be pasting in on the very right side of my spread. So I'm using the same orange to pink to darker pink at the top, and then blue to pink to darker pink at the very bottom. And you can really see, now that there's no letters or sun in the way, how the alcohol markers blend really, really well together, because I'm just going over the intersections between the two colors multiple times and just allowing the natural marker ink to just blend with itself. By the way, this is not a sponsored video, but I am using Sanjoki alcohol markers here, and I do have a code with them. If you want to get some money off, I will put it here on the screen. Again, not sponsored, but if you want to check them out, you can get a little money off of your purchase. Alrighty, so now that our artwork is all complete, let's jump into the bullet journal and put everything together. So if you follow me on my other account, my book account, Sophie Joe, you may know, because I talk about it in my vlogs, that I am actually in Houston for a few weeks during the summer. I live in Dallas for university, but my home is in Houston, and I had a couple weeks before my summer internship starts. So I'm currently working with like half of my stationery because most of my stuff is still in Dallas, but I'm here in Houston. So I couldn't use my favorite double-sided tape. Instead, I had to use literally liquid glue to paste in these pieces of paper into my journal, which is a little awkward because I'm using sketchbook paper, which is a little thicker than printer paper. And I mean, not a little, a lot thicker than printer paper. So I had to definitely like hold down this paper and let that liquid glue dry. It felt like I was in middle school, like pasting and gluing a little bit. But that being said though, like you can 100% do this with, you know, liquid glue, stick glue, double-sided tape, literally whatever, again, that you have in your art cart can definitely be used to paste in these separate art pieces. Or hypothetically, if you recreated this cover page with water-based markers or colored pencils or a medium that doesn't actually bleed through paper, you could literally just color it in the journal itself. You don't have to use a separate sheet of paper. It all just depends on what you're working with. So now that the cover page art is glued in, and I cut a little bit of a Dutch door on the right, which is basically I cut off an inch of the right of two different pages in my bullet journal. That way you can flip through them, and I'll put more art in the background in just a second there. We can move on to my calendar page. Now, as a whole, after 6 to 7 years of bullet journaling, I have noticed about myself that During the summer or during breaks away from university or work, I really do not use my bullet journal nearly as much as when I do in the middle of a very busy semester, which makes sense, right? Like when I'm in college, I have classes, I have my club, I have my work. Like there is so much going on, so many activities, so much to plan around and meetings and things like that. So of course I'm going to use my bullet journal a lot more frequently. However, in the past couple of weeks, I actually haven't touched my bullet journal once except for filming. Like the second half of May, I had space in my bullet journal to make weekly spreads. Like if you guys saw my plan with me last month, I made a Dutch door system very similar to this month, how it's going to go. And I had space to plan all the way through the end of May. But after I left school on May 14th, I was so busy with vacationing, with hanging out with my friends, with literally just experiencing summer, since I have a very shortened summer this year of only a month, that I didn't have anything planned in my bullet journal. I was just like going off of vibes and hanging out and, just doing whatever. So as a whole, I knew that about myself, that in June, I wasn't really going to use my bullet journal too much because, I'm still in summer for the next couple of weeks. However, I do, and I'm very grateful for this, have a summer internship that I'm starting on June 15th. And so when that picks up, I'm undoubtedly going to be using my bullet journal a lot more as I plan out my meetings, my work, along with my personal life and Bible study and every other thing that I'm going to be doing when I'm back in Dallas. So I definitely kept those all in mind as I was planning out my setup today. We're not going to be doing a bunch of extra spreads, tracker pages. Academic planning is obviously unnecessary for this month since I'm not in school. However, I did want to give myself a little bit of space for a monthly overview because I do have a lot of traveling back and forth from Dallas and Houston going on this month. And then also when my internship starts, I want to make sure that I have enough space to be planning that as well. So basically, all of that yapping commences in me just saying that this month's setup is going to consist of a calendar page and then a bunch of weekly spreads. And I decided to make the weekly spreads all in one video because they're just easy, quick spreads, very easy to replicate in your own bullet journal if you're interested, and it was just a time saver for me to do them all right now. Last month for my May setup, I spent so long on the artwork that although I was planning on doing the exact same weekly spread every single week, I decided to only set up the first one in that video because it was getting a little boring and repetitive and the artwork took so long. But this month the artwork was so quick and easy. It took me maybe an hour to do the artwork, which, okay, yes, it's an hour out of my life that I don't have back, but sometimes I spend like 3 hours working on artwork, so only having 1 hour was like a luxury, to be honest. Which, speaking of, I tend to put a lot of pressure on my bullet journal themes, but specifically my June bullet journal themes, because June is my birthday month. June is one of my favorite months of the entire year because usually, it's summer, it's freedom from classes, it's fun having your first few weeks of just literally doing absolutely nothing because there is no classes, which now that I'm going into my senior year of college, that is a luxury I'm not gonna be able to have anymore. Once I graduate, I'll be a full-time employee, so summer is just gonna be a distant memory at that point. But all that being said, not only is June my birthday month, but it's summer and it's just the best vibes, right? So I always put a lot of stress on what theme I'm going to do, more than usual. For some reason, it's always my favorite months have to be perfect bullet journal themes, which is definitely the perfectionist in me coming out to play. Not very healthy mindset. However, it's something I've just tried to work through over the past couple of years. But this particular year, I was thinking to myself, literally the night before filming, as it happens often where I'm planning out the spreads, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. You can do something simple. You don't have to spend hours and hours making some very elaborate theme. Not that it isn't so fun to do that, and I really do love spending hours planning and choosing colors and really perfecting an art piece and being able to show you guys something I'm very proud of. But honestly, this month was so much fun because it took me an hour to do the cover page. I did spend a lot of time choosing my colors and practicing that before I filmed, but once I turned the camera on, it felt very second nature. I'm literally doing blending and I'm adding squiggly clouds. It's very simple, but I think it's so effective. This setup looks like neon colors vomited all over, and I mean that complimentary. The fact that there is a super bright, colorful, happy cover page. There is a strip of neon colors on the right side as well. I'm using a bunch of bright colors that I normally would avoid, to be honest, in this setup, but I was just feeling the vibes of overly bright and saturated aesthetic for this month. I mean, I keep saying it. It's simple, it's beginner friendly, it's maybe a little bit easier than I would usually do, but I'm so happy with it. And I think this is the perfect vibe that I want to just like keep, you know, mentally as I finish out my few weeks of summer with my friends, enjoy my last few weeks of freedom, and then I can start my professional internship and hopefully have a really positive experience with that. So yeah, overall, I'm very, very happy with these spreads. Not to toot my own horn too much, but yeah, I think this was definitely worth toning it down a little bit and just trying something bright and simple and just seeing how effective it could be. Now, as I'm working on these weekly spreads, I want to talk you guys through my process here just a little bit. I'm doing the exact same page for the first 2 weeks as I am for the second 2 weeks of June, so it is going to be a little bit of copy paste, but it is very satisfying to have all these spreads already made for me, so I only have to fill them in for the rest of the month. Basically though, like I said, it's a mix of I'm going to be very busy with my internship and I need space to plan. However, while I'm still in summer, I don't really have many like set in stone plans. So every week, instead of creating an entire spread for every week and giving myself so much space for to-do lists and things like that, I'm just making everything smaller and more compact and more simplified, but still giving myself room to plan if I need it. So every weekly dashboard, which is like 1/2 of the spread, has a very tall column with 7 days a week for me to plan any events that are happening that day. This could be birthdays, meetings for work, hangouts with my friends, days that I'm traveling and I want to put that on there, doctor's appointments, video content planning, Bible study meetings, things like that. Things that I have to do that day go in those little boxes. Then on the inside panel, I have a bunch of colored lines, and this is basically a long spot for me to put any to-do list items that I need to do during the week but don't align themselves with one particular day. Like for example, for this past week, I recently moved into a new apartment and I had to change my shipping address on my parcel pending like app, and so that was a very random thing that I just had to get done. It was a little tedious, but it didn't have to happen on any one particular day, so I would put it in this little like to-do section spot, and then whenever it gets checked off, I'll just check it off. It's very simple. At the bottom, I have a box that I'm leaving empty for right now, besides coloring a couple of clouds over it. In this section, I plan to just have a little bit of a brain dump. I could put anything here. I could journal about my week. I could put my weekly favorites. I could put more planning if I need more space. I am so excited for my summer internship, but I am very out of my depth here. I have only worked for myself and other small businesses in the past, and so working for a large corporation in an office space is going to be such a big change for me these next couple of weeks. So I don't know yet what I need for myself as far as planning. I could need a lot of extra space, which is why I have this box here for me to do whatever I need to with it when I do start in a couple of weeks. Or I could not need that space. I could completely use digital planning when I'm in the office. I'm not quite sure yet, and so we will honestly just see what happens. And at the end of next month, when I do my first bullet journal flip through of the year so far, you will see how I use that space. All right, with that being said, this is my final flip through. I really hope you love these spreads. I think they're clean, I think they are easy, I think they are beautiful. And if you want to recreate them, do tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your creations. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you very soon for a new journaling video.